Hello friends, this is Rabbi Chinedum TV. The issue of marriage is one thing that is so important for us to always talk about. Because without marriage, without a home, or will I say without a marriage, there is no home. And without a home, there is no community. Where there is no community, there is no state, talk less of a nation or a country. So I want to talk on the topic that I title The Clash of Class in Today's Marriages. It amazes me that two people will come together as couples. But in the process of time, you come to realize that it becomes very difficult for them to work together. I mean, walking on the streets, holding hands as friends. If you can remember when they started, usually they used to walk around as friends, do everything as friends. But in the process of this marriage journey, things seem to turn upside down, as you can see in our societies today. Most couples hardly walk side by side on the streets. Have you spent time to ask yourself that question? Above all, can you see why there are many breaking marriages today? Marriages are breaking down every day. There are many broken marriages. So where the intimacy, that relationship is not found within these two people, how can we have a better society? And then each time we talk about clash in class, these are two categories of people that see things differently. So when they came together, what's supposed to happen between these two is to see one thing, not seeing things differently this time. How can this be possible? Let's start with music. Before you say I do to any man, have you spent time to find out the kind of music the individual or the man listens to? You may say, music. Yes, music has a lot to do with our life, with our spiritual well-being. There's one thing about class. Class is all about feelings. Everything in this life has to do with feelings and taste. It is a feeling that determines the function of every man. So if your partner has a different feeling and you have a different feeling, it will be very difficult for you to match. Another thing that creeps in when this clash of class comes in, your wife or the man you got married to is the type that love to dress neatly. Each time you see him, he appears very, very, very attractive. But you, as the wife, because you now see yourself that you have gotten married to this man, have you spent time to work on yourself? Most women, it amazes me that most times you see them, they will say, I am married and what else? I've given birth to children, what else? Now, let me tell you, there is a lot of things for you to really imagine. That particular man you got married to usually move all out there and see a lot of women that are very attractive. Some women can't dress well. They even find it very difficult to take a normal bath. They will say, I've gotten married. What else am I looking for? And in this process, you begin to see a lot of problems in many homes. Let me tell you, any woman that cannot take bath 2 times in a day is a big problem. I'm talking about women. Most women, I know of a brother, a friend that got married to his wife, and the wife run a canteen. Each time the woman comes back very late in the night, and then she won't take a bath, and then she will just jump into the bed and sleep off. This was how the crisis started. And this young man is the type that loves to look very neat. This young man I'm talking about loved to look very, very neat. It was a very big problem. At a point, the young man could no longer stay. As a matter of fact, that was how this marriage ended up. And that story is a story of one of my friends. They were living in Abuja, in their own home. But this young lady, got married with this young man. But each time the young man will come and will tell the lady, this is how I want you to dress up. The lady will say, you want to turn me to Ashawo? The young man said, this is how I want you to dress up. The young man kept talking and talking and talking. At a point, the man became tired. The next line of action was that this young man was transferred, because he was a civil servant, was transferred to Warren. The young man now went and then looked for a woman of his kind. Because each time we talk about class, what is class? Class has to do with taste. It has to do with feelings. It's not all about going to school or maybe some things you pick on the streets. No. I must say that class is an instinct. It lives in everybody. Class has to do with something that is in your blood, in your marrow. It has nothing to do with what you learn or what you study. So each time you want to say I do to any man or to any woman, one most important thing is to find out the caliber. I've seen some young beauty queens. I've read so many articles concerning these young ladies that their boyfriend most of the time pour acid on them. Have you spent time to consider why these things always happen? At a point in time, the young man or the young lady will come to realize what dwells, what lives inside of him. And then the moment he begins to develop it, his partner now begins to see his development as a threat. And if no control at this point, it becomes a big problem. Look at where the problem lies. A lot of people think or believe that humans change. As a matter of fact, humans do not change. They cannot change. The only thing that can happen to human nature is that human nature can embrace development. That is all. Apart from development, there is no other dimension. Like for instance, when we talk about class, I can talk about what I call emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to guide your excesses, your overdoing. For instance, you're the type that is low in reasoning. Then once you embrace emotional intelligence, it will guide you when you're becoming too cold or when you are the type that is too hot. Emotional intelligence will equally guide you. Same thing applicable to the way we appear. A philosopher said that the way you appear is the way you will be addressed. This is the most important thing. Now, have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that so many men or women find it very difficult to introduce their couple or their fellow partner? They find it very difficult to introduce themselves. Some men cannot tell anybody, this is my wife. Some women hardly tell somebody, this is my wife or husband. So it's something we really need to think about. Because when there is no margin, when there is no blending, when there is no, can I use the word compromise, when it comes to the terms or when it comes to class, it's a very big problem. A very big problem. Sometimes we look down on this, but it is creating a lot of problem in our societies today. Very, very big problem. We really need to think about this. At any given time you want to give in to any man, one most important question you need to ask yourself as an individual: do I have what it takes? What kind of food do I love to eat? What kind of music do I love to listen to? What kind of dress do I love to dress? Most people even dress up without ironing their clothes. This is a big problem. Your wife may not tell you this, but I'm telling you this. Your husband may not tell you this, but I'm telling you this. Right from today, please try to make amends so that you can be able to build a wonderful home. Once again, I'm your brother and friend, Rabbi Chinedu. Thank you until I come your way again.